Starting up.
Welcome to another episode of the Uncensored Philly Sports Podcast. Tonight, you got the dual threat of Tim and Wayne. You know, light skin boys going to be here early.
Yeah. This is what y'all going to be seeing every day. Going to fix the season, you'll see us too. So just get used to it. Occasionally, you might get Ethan.
They just here to see me anyway. Either they hate me or love me.
Yeah.
And Tim here for the liberty. But no, we here just to talk some Philly sports, man. We want to keep this stuff going, keep it popping. We want to talk some of the things we want to touch on tonight. We want to talk about the Sixers game. I mean, not the Sixers. That's my mind. Sixers, Eagles game, upcoming Eagles game. We want to talk about where the season, some of the things, kind of look back at the game that just passed and the game we're going forward to. We're going to touch on Embiid's contract. And also maybe talk a little bit about the stadium and how everybody feels about where the stadium is placed. Oh, Lord, teacher got game. Go Cowboys. Yeah, y'all could go all right. We're...
y'all playing the Giants, so y'all should win. Did they score? Because I know they was in the red zone.
I don't know, but I know the Giants was up 3-0 at first. The Giants score already.
Yeah, they let them on the first possession.
Cowboys scored. Yeah, that's why he said go Cowboys. Yeah. But so all right. Before we talk about the Eagles, because since the Cowboys and Giants is on, who do you think is the biggest threat in the NFC East to the Eagles?
Nobody. The Eagles. Mm-hmm. Our health. That's about it.
I was about to say you talk a real brazen considering our top two receivers down.
That's all it is. If we're injured the entire year, we beat up. Of course, if we lose the quarterback is one thing, but right now it ain't the Giants. It's not the Redskins. The Redskins or the Commanders, they too wet beyond the ears.
So. You discredit them a little bit. That whole team is not young though, is it? The quarterback is, but
that's who that passing coordinator is.
Who?
For the Commanders.
Who?
Brian Johnson.
Okay, he got a real quarterback now though.
What did he say?
He got a real quarterback now, though. So
offense
working.
He's allowed to be a coordinator and not being undermined by Nick Sirianni. So
you was the one taking shots at him. I'm just saying, you making it like he's a bad coordinator. He might not be a bad coordinator.
No, he's not a bad coordinator. I'm just saying, you see, he's having success with the Commanders, and you see, he's given a true opportunity.
No, because he got a good quarterback. He got a quarterback with an arm that can do all the other stuff too.
Yeah, he had the quarterback here too.
Jalen ain't got that kind of arm.
Shout out to Brian Johnson, though.
Yeah, but I mean, if we just talking about the NFC East. In the NFC, I still don't know. I don't even think if 4 games is going to be enough to really tell, because I really still don't even know what the Eagles are now. The defense looked like they couldn't stop a wet paper bag until it got into the red zone up until this last game, and then they went against who was the most prolific offense in the league coming into the game and basically shut them down. So I don't know if it was because the Saints had some injuries. Because that center being hurt for the Saints definitely was a big. That was big.
Yeah.
Because our tackles was killing their interior line. So.
But what I will say though, somebody said the Vikings teacher got game. Sam Donald, he looked a lot better being coached by probably a better GM, a better head coach, better coordinator. He's leading that team. So aren't they 3-0 right now? So I'm not scared of them, but they look like they can be a contender. And especially since the 49ers are struggling right now.
Yeah, but that's why I say I really think in this year more than maybe even. I mean, it's always like that though. But hey, no, Ziggy, I'm kind of tongue in cheek with Hurts. I do think that Hurts. I don't put none of the offensive woes last game and stuff. I don't put that stuff on Hurts. I think it's been horrible coaching so far. That put us in bad spots offensively. I think there's certain things, certain play calls. Like I didn't like in the second game against Atlanta. I didn't like the play call to pass it to Saquon instead of just handing it off to him and run. I haven't liked Nick Sirianni calling all these bravado going for it on these Madden calls or going for it on fourth down instead of just taking the points. Especially when your defense, as much as your defense has been giving up yardage, they have been holding other teams to field goals. So if don't take points off the board. If we got one of the best kickers in the league, let him kick those field goals and take those points. You know what I'm saying? Because those that could be demoralizing for a team. If you get down there and you're in the red zone and you have a turnover like Jalen's been doing, I don't know if he's necessarily going to keep doing that. I don't think Jalen will. But when you even have a
He won't.
turnover or you don't score once you march down the field, it can be. I mean, it could set everything off. That momentum gets killed. But
To me, this weekend's game against Tampa is a good test for Jalen, and the reason why because they've been dogging us a little bit. Tampa last few years, for some reason, Todd Bowles just got Jalen's number, and so I think
because he blitzes him.
Yeah, because again, but he worked on the blitz all off season, so and he's been doing really good against the blitz this year. Look who's in the top 3 quarterbacks against the blitz and so far this year is Jalen Hurts. He learned.
No. I will give Jalen those props because and this is why, and it's gonna be viewed as hate. But
yes,
it's going to be viewed as hate. But I honestly think Jalen Hurts needs to quarterback a lot more like Purdy. Like whereas though you like, which he's done for the most part. He's had some decent passing yards, but I think where he comes into fault is when he tries to play that big boy ball, like he got that arm to zip into tight windows. You take what the defense give you. He's been trying to force it in. He's been trying to do too much and making plays and force stuff in this year, in my opinion.
No, it wasn't. Yeah, if you take away 2 plays from last game and 2 plays from the game before, he's been playing like an MVP level.
No, he hasn't.
He's been great.
He hasn't.
You know he's over 70% as far as field goal percentage.
You can't just say if you take away the turnovers because that's what made Jalen an elite level quarterback because he didn't turn the ball over and because he did get the running touchdowns and he did get those other things. But now
if your completion percentage is over 70%, that is very, very good.
There's plenty of players that's around that completion percentage right now.
It's not plenty. He's not. He's in the top 10.
Okay.
Top 7 in the league.
And he in like the bottom 3 of turnovers.
No, he's not. He turned the ball over. He turned the ball over. He does have a lot of turnovers. But
and not as many he don't have as many touchdowns and have more turnovers. All I'm saying is he needs to be more under control, especially since you don't got your top receivers with you. I get it. I understand you want to try to force stuff into Devontae a couple times, but Devontae's not, even though Tim is touted Devontae as being our best receiver at certain times.
At certain times he has been.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
he's never our best receiver if AJ's on the field. He's never our best receiver. If AJ's on the field, he's never our best receiver. AJ is a beast. So that being said, I do understand that Hurts doesn't have his weapons, but the one weapon he does have is the best running back in the league right now. And that's where we should be featuring it.
Anyway, we got a tough matchup this weekend, and we don't have no AJ, no Devontae, and then Covey is down. So, what do y'all think? Think we got a good shot with him and Saquon?
Well, I actually I still don't know about this defense. I don't know what the defense is.
Defense looks nice.
I don't know what the defense is. Because listen, remember I got ripped when I said, like in the first game, I was like, the defense actually played decent. They was giving up field goals. They gave up mostly field goals this season. They've been giving up mostly field goals. But between the 20s, they've been getting, thrashed and ran on and everything.
But this last game,
yeah, but
he came in averaging about 7 yards a carry. We held him to like less than 3, or about 3.
They were missing their center.
They were missing their center, but still.
Their line. So,
all right. Oh yeah, before we go on any further, since our content is taken up by 2 Bulls or one in particular, but if y'all want to call and actually give y'all opinion on this weekend's game. And also, we want to know what y'all think about the Sixers, because the Sixers camp is open in about a couple of days from now. So I'm going to send out a link. The link is in the chat right now. And if y'all want to join us, just to tell us what you think about the Eagles and how far they can go and how far the Sixers can go, feel free to join us.
Just understand, we say uncensored in our opinions. However, our language is not uncensored.
Yeah, I can't be watching, so don't be cursing. But yeah, just click the link. You can get on.
Yeah. So, but yeah, but I I still don't know what this Eagles team is yet. I really don't. But that being said, I still think Washington's good though. I think Washington's going to be the biggest threat in the division, other than the Eagles.
They're not ready. I see what you're saying.
Okay, I mean we can say that it's always people not ready until they are.
They're not ready. They not. They young boys. What you gonna
Who's
see?
young? Is their whole team young or just the quarterback?
The quarterback. That's all that matters.
Why? So Ben Roethlisberger didn't make it to? Didn't Ben
He's not
Roethlisberger
Ben
make it to the Super Bowl?
Roethlisberger.
How do
And,
you know?
what's that defense look rank? Because that depends on everything. If they got a good defense, if that defense is like top 10, then maybe. Because for example, in Pittsburgh, they got a really nice defense. So now their quarterback is winning games, but he only averaging like 17 points a game.
Yeah, I mean,
So what's that
well,
like?
I mean, the thing is, hold on. Let me see. That's games they already played. And the Commanders ain't real. Like they beat the Bengals. The Bengals defense been trash and struggling. They beat the Giants. Wasn't a big win, but they got thrashed by the Bucks. So I'm still,
Exactly.
the
Thank you.
Commanders still
Don't get
got.
hyped. Don't
Yeah,
get
the
hyped on the
Commanders
young
still
boy.
got. Yeah, the Commanders still got to show something. But I mean, they beat the Bengals, but Bengals winless, and their defense has been trash. So
So you think we win this weekend?
I want to say yes.
Yeah,
I want to say yes. If we were fully stocked with both our receivers and everything else, I would say yes. I'm gonna still say yes. But all I know is if it's that hurricane winds blowing down there, don't have Jalen going back there passing 40 times trying to
we
have
just
him
gonna run it.
prove that he could pass, huh?
We just gonna run it.
Okay, I hope so. Don't call no play. Don't call no run RPOs. So Jalen, he like to keep the ball, not hand the ball off.
All right, so Sixers, Knicks, Boston.
For what?
For the I'm about to say the AFC for the NBA conference. What is that conference called? I'm getting all confused now.
You talking about our division? You talking
Yeah,
about what's it, Atlantic? Ain't we in Atlantic division?
the Atlantic
Is it still
division,
called Atlantic,
the
or is it
Eastern
something else?
Conference. No, it's still Atlantic. The
All right.
Atlantic. The Bucks might overtake. You said what do you say? The Bucks might overlook us because we're injured. No, they're not. No, they're not. Todd Bowles gonna do whatever he can do.
He already talking trash. They love going at Jalen.
Todd Bowles think he has Jalen wrapped around his finger, and he actually kind of do. I'm not even gonna. I can't even hear. I watched the replay of last year's playoff game, and man, our offense looked terrible against them. I mean, they blitzed every way possible. They was blitzing us. So nah.
I mean, but I mean the Bucks. Because what was? Hold on, let me see. What was that score in that game with the Bucks and the Commanders? I'll still be ready to see it. I mean, they held the Commanders' offense to 20 points, and the Commanders' offense has been decent against everybody else too. So maybe that's just them against Brian Johnson. You know what I'm saying? Maybe that Brian Johnson offense. You said that's the Commanders' coordinator. Maybe Brian Johnson just can't match up against Ty Bowles. Maybe
nah.
I don't know, but I mean it's going to be interesting. But the Eagles are going to have to hand the ball off, man. They throw the ball to Goddard and hand off to Saquon. They were the ones that won us the game the last game. It was them too, basically. But well, what you say? Atlantic Division, Eastern Conference.
Yeah, what you think?
I think you still got to say Boston's the best team, and it's nothing happened to make me think that Boston isn't the best team. For one, they've been together for a while now, and they won. So I mean, I think anybody that just says that anybody else in our conference is or even division is better than Boston is just either being a homer or you're anticipating some untimely demise of Boston.
Truth be told, I really see the Bucks as a contender as well. I didn't put them in the title, but the Bucks, don't sleep on the Bucks right now. I think if they're coming in healthy this year, so now that they're healthy, I put them as a top 4 team along with the Knicks, the Sixers, and Boston.
So who wasn't healthy for them last year?
Which one didn't even play in the playoffs?
Who?
Giannis.
Yeah, but see, I'm looking at and I'm not saying that there's a team, but I'm saying I'm looking at them against the Sixers. last year in that first game, the Sixers still should have beat them if the refs didn't march Dame Lillard to the line all them times. That was the Sixers game. They got hosed that game. And that was full, both teams, everybody there. The Sixers got hosed that game.
Which one are
So
you
now you
talking
add Paul George. What was it, our second game of the season against the Bucks? And then
about?
Dame Lillard got marched to the line. He had 29 free throws or some crazy stuff like that.
But that was early though. That's early in the season. I'm not worried about that. The second game.
So
of
what
the
was
season,
their record against us? All I'm saying is I was looking at them against us full strength. And now we adding Paul George. I'm not putting the Bucks over the Sixers right now.
I think we tied. To be honest with you,
That's a fair assessment.
If I'm looking at both of them, I see the Bucks. I'm not scared of the Knicks. I know there's a lot of Knicks fans out there, but I'm not scared of the Knicks because they don't have a center right now. The boy Mitchell actually is going to be out until December, so they down him. The other the guy, what's his name?
Hartenstein.
Hartenstein. He left. He in OKC now. So now, and then they got Mitchell is down. So now all they have really is a small ball lineup. They probably have to play the ball. What's the ball that was hurt? The power forward.
For the Bucks? I mean, for the Knicks, you talking about
yeah.
Was it Precious?
No. Hey, y'all in the chat, let me know. What's the ball? He coming off an injury. He didn't play with them last year in the playoffs.
Oh, you talking about Randolph?
Yeah.
I mean, Randall.
Julius Randle.
Yeah.
Julius Randle. What's his real?
No, it's Julius Randle. I mean, but they still see that's the only thing with with the Bucks. I mean, not with the Bucks, with the Knicks. They're undersized and they don't have a center playing. Jericho Sims at center. I mean, when you look at their center, they're all right. So they really don't. When you look at the Bucks got a big team with Giannis. Is what's his name still playing?
Lopez.
Retired yet? Lopez, he's still playing.
Yeah, Lopez. Then they got. That's what I'm saying. They have
Porter. You got Portis. I mean,
they have a lot of size. We have size in our team.
You look at Boston. Boston got what's his name? Al Horford. They got Porzingis.
So everybody has size except for the Knicks.
Yeah,
thanks. It is Julius Randle. So, and that's what I'm saying. If they wanted to play small ball with Julius Randle at center, and then you got the wings. They pretty much got to play two wings. They're a small team. I don't know how that's going to hold up.
I don't think that Villanova experience is going to work. Thibodeau is going to end up fired. They're going to try to get get what's his name over there, Jay Wright.
Jay Wright from the head. That'd be nice. I ain't gonna lie. That actually would be nice.
That would be a good story. But I still don't think. I don't think the Knicks. I can't discredit because I like the way that they play, but I also think that the Sixers, the biggest. I mean that series, the Sixers were outscored by 1 point. That whole series, like those games were tight, and this is when Embiid was injured, and the Sixers then went out and got better rebounding. First of all, you got Paul George replacing Tobias.
That's a win right there.
And then you got coming off of the bench, you got Drummond instead of whoever else we had coming to Paul Reed coming in. Drummond is a rebounding monster. So I can't put the Knicks over the Sixers. I can't put the Knicks over the Sixers this year.
I see the Knicks in the fourth spot. I believe it's going to be the second spot is going to be a toss up between the Bucks and the Sixers.
So you're not putting Indiana up in there?
No. They second tier. They're not first tier.
You think so?
We were talking about legit chances to win the East and to win a title.
Oh, so you're telling me that you're putting New York over Indiana?
Absolutely. Why wouldn't you? Why wouldn't you?
Didn't Indiana beat them?
First, they was all beat up. The Knicks was beat up.
Okay.
The Knicks was tore up.
I think you disservice Indiana a little bit.
No,
just a little bit.
If you really think about it, you got. If my team in the Boston right now is tied, has a slight edge over the Sixers and the Bucks. To be honest with you,
I think it got to be more than slight because Boston dominated last year. They led the league like coast to coast with the best record in the league.
But think about it. They had an easy route to the finals. Who did they really play?
Listen, I understand what you're saying about the I hear you, but that's why I said they went from start to finish as the best team in the NBA. Boston went like from start to finish as the best team in the NBA, and at certain points of time, they were clearly the best team in the NBA.
I agree with that.
And then they went into the playoffs with Porzingis being hurt. So I hear what you're saying, but I can't disrespect Boston like that.
I'm not just because I think Jalen Brown.
And
Now
you
I'm
also
just
got to
saying,
think about the fact Boston has been to the finals twice in the last few years. Like it's not like last year was a flash in the pan. They have been making move and making strides to be better every year, and made it to the playoff, made it to the chip a couple years ago, and then went back and won it. So you got to give you got Boston is a little bit. If you look at that on paper, I can see where you're saying with the Sixers and Bucks, but Boston has been there and been together as a unit for that period of time. I think Boston is clearly the better team. I don't think that it's close just yet. We got to see how the Sixers gel with their new additions.
all right, SS re- relabeled. He said that Ricky Council was going to have a breakout year. I believe that if they actually give him some playing time, I don't think they're going to give him playing time. So what? That's my only thought. That's my problem right there. Is I don't think he's going to get any playing time. If he gets playing
Yeah.
time, because to me he looked like he's ready. He's ready to go. I believe.
You know what though? I got a feeling he's gonna get some time. I got a feeling Paul George is gonna be because Paul George, just like Embiid, has had a lot of injury type years. I could see Paul George being on a load management type year, especially since he signed that big contract. He's a little bit older. I could see where the Sixers sitting him quite often. I
Paul
could see,
George.
yeah.
Yeah, he did do a lot of rest day. He did.
I mean,
All of
last year he played like 70 something games, I think. But before that, like he's been injured. Like the last few years, he's been injured often. So I could see where the Sixers. Even same thing with Bede. I could see the Sixers doing load management with them in certain settings, especially since you got guys that can go in as backups for them.
Yeah. So what do you think about Ricky Council? You think you got a shot to play?
I think he's gonna get some time. Yeah, I definitely think he's gonna get some burn. I well, if they do load management stuff, I could see him getting some burn. But it was kind of alarming when you heard the Sixers brass talking about him not really, not really playing Nick Nurse, not really playing the young guys, and all that rigmarole they was saying, which
I
basically
hated
was
that. I did not like hearing that either.
yeah. And yeah, hey, relabeled you right. If the Sixers are as good on paper as it appears to be, you are going to have a lot of games where as though you might not have to have Embiid or Paul George playing a bunch of minutes in the fourth. You might have it where those guys could get time to get in there and play and do stuff like that. That's what we're hoping for. And if they can do that, and then you can help, and in that time, Ricky Council can do better and get to developing and stuff like that. I think it'll do well for him in the playoffs.
Did you
And
hear
it,
Jalen Brown talk about they're gonna let the young boys play when they play teams like Detroit? They're gonna let them be the leading scorer. They're gonna fall back so they can get them. They understand it's a long season, so
right.
they said we're gonna let the young boys when they want to actually when they play garbage squads, they're not gonna be in there trying to score or play like a large amount of minutes. They said they're gonna fall back and let the young boys get their 30 points and everything and lead them.
Yeah, that sound good until you put them young boys in, and then all of a sudden the bum Tobias Harris and drop like 25 on them because of Tobias playing against the backup bum young boys, and then Jalen and them be right back up in there.
But I think if I'm the head coach of the Sixers, I actually would follow that as the same thing. I'm like, let's let the young boys
No, I
play.
agree. No, I'm not necessarily saying like whenever you playing suspect teams, you come out and you just automatically do that. I now now I do agree with Relabel. You know what I'm saying? How he said if we up big, if we're playing the way that we supposed to be and we get up big, then yeah, you let them young boys go in there and get that burn. I agree with that, but I don't ever agree with just saying like, oh, this team ain't on our level. We just throw our backups out there. Nah.
Uh,
That's
I,
how
don't,
you end up messing some flow up with stuff.
I don't care nothing about no Melton. I'm glad he off the team. He was too streaky. Relabel said he wished that we kept Melton. Like, nope, I'm good.
Who's our backup point guard right now?
We signed the boy from Phoenix, didn't we?
What was that? Bobby? Not Bob. I don't know
And
why I
then we
was
also got
getting.
McLean.
Yeah, I got to see in the preseason how McLean if he develops some. I honestly think in the summer league they was probably trying to get him play more of a certain style. Like how sometimes you get in the pros, it's like, all right, well, this is what we're looking for from you, and hopefully he can do that because I think that's what happened to Paul Reed. I think because in Paul Reed in the G League or whatever, he was playing a certain way, and you saw he could do stuff. But then when you come to the team, we need you to do this, this, and this, and he couldn't make that adjustment to do those things.
So you think New York is not going to do nothing this year? You said it was a good story last year, but it's over for them this year. I don't see that. They actually added Mikal Bridges.
Yeah, I think you overhyped Mikal a little bit.
Mikal is, what do you mean overhyped? The man is a winner.
He's a good role player, yes.
So if
he's a top tier role player. Do you think he's a superstar? Do you think not superstar? Do you think he's on star level?
He's a star in the league.
I don't think so. What makes you say he's a star?
Because he is.
What has he led a team to do?
What's your definition of a star?
A star to me is a star to me is a player that can lead a team to a winning record and to be the top guy on a team that's a playoff type team.
Some stars don't always win though. They have bucket and they stars, but they don't necessarily can make themselves a winning team.
But even all right, when he was on Phoenix, like he played some big moments and this, that, and other. But he went to Brooklyn, like was. I don't know. I just don't see him as a star. I don't see him as. That's even like Jalen Brunson, right? Like when I look at Jalen Brunson, and the way he led the Knicks, to me that's a star type player. The way he carried that team, to me that's a star.
When he was
I don't think
Dallas though, was he a star?
You don't remember when Luka was out the first round and Jalen Brunson was carrying him. Jalen Brunson was hooping when Luka was out.
He was hooping, but did you consider him a star then?
No, because we wasn't sure what it was. But then he went to another team and he carried them.
And so he became a star.
I think once he showed that he can be the guy and carry a team for a season and being that guy, he showed himself to be a star. I don't think Bridges has done that yet. No.
You don't think Mikal has the capability of doing that? You don't think that right now?
I think he had the capability and showed that he's not that guy.
Nah, he was there for a year.
Okay. I don't think he's at that star caliber, but he's a great addition to that team and to be on that team. I just don't think that the Knicks have all the pieces. I think their center position is a gaping hole. I think that they did themselves a disservice by letting Hartenstein go.
It was the money. They couldn't offer him no max the way his.
Okay. Well, they could have kept him. I don't think they needed Bridges. I think Bridges, you got other guys that do what Bridges do.
No, they don't.
Why don't they?
And then you got the cohesiveness of 4 Villanova players playing at the same time.
Mm-hmm. That's why I say I think they went too heavy on those smaller guys, those smaller gritty players. I think they went too heavy on it.
I think it's just that Mitchell Robinson injury just was going to hurt them a little bit. You need a big body, especially.
He's always injured.
Well, when you're going up against the Embiids and the NBA, the Giannis's and all,
you needed 2 big bodies to go up against him. Injured Embiid, you needed 2 big bodies.
They beat us in 6 games last year, so.
Okay, and then they went to Indiana and Miles Turner tore him up.
Because everybody got hurt. Don't act like everybody didn't get hurt.
I hear you. I don't think that New York is as dangerous a threat to the Sixers as, and I like the run that the Knicks did. I like the Knicks team. Like I like the players on their team. I like those type players. But I just don't think that. I think with a healthy Embiid, and of course that's a big if. But if you're talking about a healthy Embiid with Drummond coming off the bench, the Sixers had no rebounding outside of Embiid, and Embiid's not a top tier rebounder. Embiid gets the rebounds because he's a big guy. You know what I'm saying? But he's not. But when you talk about adding Drummond, the guy that can easily get you 14 rebounds in a game with a certain amount of minutes. When Embiid came out the game, we got manhandled on the boards. Because you didn't even have to worry about boxing nobody. At least when Embiid's in there, they're focused on boxing him out and everything else. If you don't have nobody else that could grab rebounds, it's nothing going on with that. But now when you add Paul George, still give you a few rebounds, and then you give me Drummond, who's a physical, active player who gets rebounds. Like I don't think that the Knicks. I don't think the Knicks come anywhere near the Sixers. Honestly, this season.
We'll see. You
Unless
can't
they make
win.
some kind of trade moves or something like that. I just don't think that it's a good matchup for them anymore.
So what's your expectations of Tyrese this year? What do you think he's gonna come in as? Same production?
I still think Tyrese is going to take a step forward more. I think Tyrese Maxey is going to have more assists. I actually think Tyrese Maxey is probably going to get more steals too. I think he's going to start. I have a feeling that he's going to start playing the passing lanes a little bit more. When you coming back there, especially if you starting like him, Oubre, Paul George. When you have Tyrese in there with other guys that can play defense, I think it'll free him up where he can gamble with his speed and play the passing lanes. I think before when you had him with Harden, you couldn't really do too much of that because then you leave too much open. You know what I'm saying? Like and like last year, like when you end up putting people like Buddy Hield or whoever else they had playing, Milton, who was injured and stuff like that, he didn't really have another guard that was solid with him, a two guard or even point guard if they was going to run him at the two. Whereas though I think now, if you have other defensive players with him that's there, I think it frees Maxey up. I think Maxey's going to have a career high in steals and assists.
Rambo. Somebody said Philly has no one to stop Rambo and the burner.
Who's Rambo?
Rambo the burner.
Who's Rambo and who's the burner?
No, but Tyrese, he actually said that he worked on his mid-range game. And remember, that's kind of the one thing that was missing from his game. He's a finisher, and his three-point game, his shot was nice. But the fact that he's coming back this year with a mid-range, he might wind up taking over as the number one spot, which I say he's going to do it. So don't be surprised.
I mean, are we talking about offensively? Because he still is not going to be a better defender than Embiid.
I mean, who knows? He's a better on-ball defender.
He's not a better on-ball defender than Embiid?
Embiid got exposed in the Olympics.
Wait, ho. Are you crazy?
Embiid is one of the... Embiid got exposed in that Olympics. You saw it. He had a terrible Olympics for Team USA.
What did that got to do with the price of tea in China? You talking about he's a horrible. You do realize that the league, that the style of play in the Olympics is different, right, from the NBA.
No, the way they play in the Olympics is kind of how playoff basketball, which is why he always turned into a pumpkin.
Which is why that he averaged 30 points on a bad leg last year.
No, it's always going to be a bad leg. It's always
but he averaged 30 points.
It's always going to be an injury.
But he averaged 30 points.
What I'm saying is,
but he averaged 30 points.
Tyrese Maxey this year will be more valuable to the 76ers than Joel Embiid. I'll put it that way. He'll be more valuable this year. This coming year, he'll be more valuable because we'll have a backup center. We'll still be able to win games, a lot of games without him this year, as long as we got a bona fide backup.
You really on some stuff right now. You telling me if all right. So if Embiid gets hurt, we will be better off. We will be better off if Embiid got hurt than if
no one said we'd be better off. Of course we would be better off.
No. I'm not saying the whole team. I'm saying, all right, if you had to choose between which player would have to miss a bunch of time between Tyrese and Embiid, you saying we would be better off if Embiid missed a bunch of time, but we had Tyrese?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Okay.
As long as
we've already seen how that go when Embiid is out.
But we never had Drummond. Now we got Drummond. We have a viable backup center.
Okay.
So now we probably won't even miss a beat.
I mean, we actually got to see if Tyrese can actually handle the point guard position.
He did it before when Ben was out. When Ben was there, he was out point guard.
But y'all made the argument with me talking about Tyrese wasn't the point guard and everything else.
He had to play point guard, and he did a real good job at it.
Okay. Hey, man, I'm not even going to say. See, that's why I'm not trying to pick. If Maxey ended up being a better player than Embiid this season, I'm all for it. But just to sit there, just off of just looking at it, to tell me you think, all right, let me ask you this, Tim. How many points you think?
Yo, man, call up real quick. I'm going to send a link. Call
what numbers? Yeah, man, you can call up. What numbers do you think Maxey is putting up this season?
I'm looking at 27 points a game.
Okay.
27, 6, and 4.
And you don't think Embiid's going to put up better offensive numbers than that?
It's not about the offensive name. His be more impactful. Like Embiid.
Okay. So who's going to put up the better defensive numbers, Embiid or Maxey?
Embiid, he's okay. It's just an old.
See, this is what. See, I'm trying to reason with you and use logic. If you're the numbers you just gave me that you think Maxey would put up, I'm telling you, I do think that Embiid's going to match those numbers, if nothing else. I can see Embiid, even if he drops down from the 30 points a game because we got other players, I can still see Embiid averaging 27, 28 points a game and actually like 9, 10 rebounds, maybe even 10 or 11 rebounds because now you got other players where he don't have to worry about it on offense as much. I can see him getting 2 blocks a game. And I can also see him still having 4 or 5 assists a game. He might even have more assists a game now because now he'll be passing the ball to guys that can actually shoot.
That's all cool. That's all fine and dandy. What I'm saying is Embiid does. I mean, you can't take away his 7'2" frame. That's significant. We not taking away from that. What I'm saying is Tyrese Maxey this year when he come in, this pretty much gonna be his team. I'm telling you right now, he's taking over. This is the new 76ers squad with Tyrese Maxey as the head. Now he might have a little co-star. I mean, we'll put Embiid on the side.
He might have Embiid to be a little co-star, huh? Okay.
He said Embiid this year is turning to Robin. I'm just saying.
I mean, y'all tell me in the comment section, am I tripping? I mean, I don't know.
I'm telling you.
And I'm all for man. Yeah, man. Hey, man, you hear this
Yo,
foolishness?
man.
What's up, guys?
What's good, bro?
What's up, bro? Talk to me. So, what do you think about Tyrese Maxey this year coming into the season?
Am I cool? Can y'all hear me?
Yeah, we can.
Yeah, you good.
I actually agree with you. I think he do 28.
So you think he's going to do more than Embiid? No, the point I'm arguing, Tim is telling me that Maxey is going to be the best player on the team. Do you think that Maxey is going to be the best player on the team?
I don't think he's the best player on the team.
Okay. That's all. See, that's all I'm saying. I want Maxey to be a.
Maxey's not gonna. He need Embiid and Embiid need Maxey.
They need each other. But is
there a background noise? I feel like There we go. All right, that's better.
All right. Yeah, that's better.
My bad.
Yeah, but what was you saying?
I was saying I just think I personally think Maxey need Embiid. Embiid need Maxey. I can't see us winning without Maxey, but I can't also see us winning without Embiid. Now, can Maxey come in a couple of games and carry, like if Maxey last year had Paul George, did we lose to Brooklyn on that Wednesday night when we needed that win? No, we win that game.
Exactly.
I'm saying those 2 games, but are we beating New York without Maxey? Not at all. Nowhere.
Now tell me this though. If you had to lose, if it was a block of games like 30, if one of them got injured for like a month and they missed like 30 games, are we able to win without Maxey or the same amount of games if Embiid was there?
I think we can win. Honestly, I think it's equal. Right now, this team, last year team, we needed Embiid more than Maxey.
See,
but this year team, because it's Tobias, we got rid of number 12.
Plus you got Drummond.
But I mean, we got. But the thing is, the lead, the way the Sixers are situated is that Embiid he's the X factor. But the league don't need centers. Like the league don't really have centers. So do you need Embiid for a block of games to win 30 games? I say you might can get by, but you're not winning without Embiid. That's
well, see, and this is why I say Embiid is more Embiid. The gravity of Embiid, like it's a reason why Embiid is considered one of the top 5 players in the league and stuff. Like that's not to be. We've seen games where, and I do think Maxey's going to be better. But we've seen games where they focus on Maxey being that top dude. Maxey come in and light it up. And then when all the attention goes to Maxey, all of a sudden that number ain't the same. We've seen games where the whole team focused on Embiid and Embiid still put up big numbers.
But see, this is why I am so hyped for this season because we don't have number 12. Like I'm telling you, number 12 is such a rock on this anchor on this team. Yeah. Maxey could get off and give you 30, but you needed number 12 just to give you 15, and he just couldn't do it.
Zero is ridiculous for him to give us in that playoff. That last
how you the third option when you the third option after Embiid go out? You're still the third option.
We should have brought
Kelly
him out.
Oubre took your spot. You're the third option after the third option. That's just.
Well, he was the fourth option that game because remember that's when Buddy Hield got off too. that last game we lost.
I'm talking about in reference when we had those blocky games when Embiid was out. Like that was your chance to just put up 15 and 17 and 8 or 5, whatever it is. You couldn't even manage.
That's the sad part about that is because in the past for the Sixers, he has averaged 17, 18, 16 points. Like, that's all we need from you now.
Yeah.
This year, that's all we needed from you at certain times. I think he got in his feelings and was all he was on some goofy type time this season, in all honesty, in my opinion.
But see, and this is why my last point, is that this is why I'm excited for this season. There's no more rap for Embiid. We get to see Maxey.
No more excuses.
None. No more excuses for Embiid. None. Like zero.
I agree.
He got to put up or shut up. Like
Wayne going to take off the cape because this is over. If Embiid don't come in here, there's no excuse for not getting to the NBA Finals or at least a long.
See, this is the point I'll make on that. And I agree with you. This is Embiid got it. But if you tell me if Embiid comes in and he's averaging 30 points, 12 rebounds, and 6 assists, and we lose, I'm not going to sit there and say, well, that was Embiid's fault we lost. It's the same way with Jalen Hurts. If Jalen Hurts is balling and he's putting up these monster numbers and we lose, I didn't put the Super Bowl loss on Jalen.
See,
he put up numbers.
I agree and I disagree. I disagree because one, if Embiid has, let's say Embiid got 35, 10, and 12, but he got 7 turnovers. I'm gonna put the blame on Embiid. Embiid's a turnover machine. The same way I don't put the Super Bowl loss on Jalen, but he did have that crucial fumble that lost us the game. Like that
didn't lose us the game.
Look at the cape. Now who in the cape? Now who in the cape?
We was no, I ain't gonna let him sit here and talk about Jalen like that.
That fumble was crucial, bro. Fumble was crucial.
It was crucial, but he still was able to. We still had a lead going into the halftime, going into the third quarter.
When you are in those tight situations, you gotta have zero mistakes. That's what separates the great players from the good players.
What happened was, first of all, the defense scored on every possession in the second half. You can't do that and expect to win. You can't blame it on Jalen.
I'm not blaming Jalen for the win for that loss per se. What I'm saying is he had a crucial fumble, and if let's say Embiid has monster numbers, but he has 8 turnovers or he has a key miss at the end of the game, it's like it's going to be the same narrative. The same narrative.
Now that I agree with. Like if you're supposed to be the focal point and player, and they feeding you the ball down the stretch, and it's for you to bring it home, and you don't, I agree wholeheartedly.
Yeah,
because it's on you. We going to you. You're supposed to be the guy. You bring us home. I agree.
Especially on this team. For all intents and purposes, this is the best team Embiid has ever had.
Exactly, and there's no excuse.
No excuses at all. And Maxey, I do think Maxey. I hope it becomes the better version of the Kobe Shaq situation. Not calling him Kobe or Shaq, but when Kobe was at his high, Shaq was supposed to take that back seat and let Kobe take over the team. They probably could have got at least 2 more chips.
Absolutely.
If Kobe and Shaq had stayed together. So I hope Maxey ascends to that level where Embiid can fall back. I don't want Embiid scoring 30 this year.
But I honestly, from everything Embiid says, I think that's what, and even Maxey says, like, Embiid's always been his biggest fan and always telling him to be the dude, like, you be that guy. I think Embiid called him the franchise.
Shaq used to do the same thing. Shaq,
no. Shaq used to be like, this my team, young puppy. This is me. And Kobe was on that type time of, you can't shoot free throws, so who you? Like,
Shaq that was bigger Kobe too.
Yeah, but he wasn't telling Kobe to be the franchise to take over. Shaq still wanted to be that dude.
True, fast. I'm just saying, people say one thing in public.
That's true.
Private. But
man, we appreciate you, boy.
Yeah,
appreciate you taking, bro.
Who you got this weekend before you go?
Who are the Eagles and what?
Tampa.
Come on.
Tampa.
Man, if Helene, I got Helene. Helene might come through and mess up the whole game.
What's that? Is that a tropical storm or hurricane or what?
That's a hurricane category 4.
Oh,
well, that's why it's good when you got the best running back in the league right now. That's when you just hand the ball off and let them run people over.
I mean, This is another team. I just feel like Jalen got no excuse. He got to tighten up. I mean,
Tim ain't making nothing but excuses all season for him.
I got the Eagles. I do think the Eagles gonna win. I don't, especially after Tampa Bay came back down to earth last week.
Yeah,
they beat us in the playoffs. People should be motivated.
This is a revenge game. I agree.
Yeah,
but I mean, we do got injuries, so I yeah. Cut Maine off. He was about to tell you how Jalen still ain't got no excuses.
You said no excuses.
No, I can't put that on Jalen. The Sixers. I honestly, I hope Maxey does end up being a leading scorer on his team. I would like to see if the team could get to where as though Maxey end up being the leading scorer and scoring 27, 28 points, and if Embiid goes back down to 25, but getting more rebounds and more blocks, and I could have Embiid focus more on the defensive end and rebounds, like y'all have said before, I think that would be better. I do think that would make the team better.
It will. Sometimes less is more. Like if you got your center,
but I still would think that Embiid is the better player, the best player on the team because he dominated on both sides of the ball. If that's the case.
Yeah, but right now we need. I would accept 26 points from Embiid. To me, if you give me 26 points
and double-digit rebounds,
12 rebounds a game, to me that's more impactful than him scoring 35 points, 35 and 10.
I agree. I don't want him. There's no way he should be averaging that many points this season. No. There's no way. With the firepower you got on this team, if anything, he should be up to about 6 or 7 assists this year.
Then you got Paul George.
Yep.
Then you got
Abdul, I don't know if Paul George is going to be necessarily focused on them. Paul George is paid.
Yo, what's happening? I'm on the podcast. What we talking about? I came in late.
We was talking Eagles. We was talking Sixers first. What do you think the Sixers going to do the season coming up season?
Actually, Sixers. I didn't really delve into them yet, but I still think they missing a couple pieces. What you think, Chris? They missing some pieces. Sixers missing a couple pieces, and they always needed a shooter. You ask me, some kind of shooting guard or a small forward that can shoot the rock.
But
Paul George. You don't think Paul George is that? Paul George on stand.
Paul George is old. Why they keep getting these dudes old? And I love Paul George. I loved him when he was
even last season, his standing, like his catch and shoot 3-pointers, he's shooting 41% last season.
Okay, we'll see. Because remember, we got James Harden old and done.
We did get washed up James Harden.
Yeah, so I'm just hoping the same thing ain't with Paul George. I'm hoping he can come because. They get him a year too late.
That's the last thing for you. Them boys always be eating.
Listen, they get him a year too late, but I'm hoping for the best because I love Paul George. I always like Paul George. I thought he was one of them guys, but I know the injury kind of messed him up. You got my man from with the Bulls. What's his name? Who used to be with the Bulls?
Which one? He just disappeared on us.
Yeah, but see, my thing is with the Sixers when it comes to that stuff, like I actually think that when you got better players, when you got good players that could go into a role where they don't have to be the guy, it makes the people better. Like I think that that's what Denver did. Denver went out and got a lot of guys that were like, go ahead.
Was one of them.
What you say?
D Rose was one of them, and I'm hoping Paul George can come out of that situation and come back to who he was. That's what I'm hoping.
He was kind of carrying them last season for a stretch, though.
You think so? You don't think we can use 22 points a game?
Yeah, absolutely. I hope he can still bring it. I hope he can. Everybody doing all these podcasts and stuff. I hope they focusing on the game.
Hey man, listen. Why y'all be so worried about this? Y'all do know that guys got life outside of just bet. You can't
I'm
just.
I'm not saying that. I think they. No, I get all that, but what I'm saying is sometimes they focus don't be. It's like you got to pick one, pick your poison. Sometimes they focus like you think Kobe Bryant would be doing a podcast if he had the season to start.
Kobe Bryant wouldn't be passing the ball either, though. So
you crazy. Kobe Bryant won championships. You can't take that away.
He wouldn't be passing the ball either, though.
He won though. He was a winner.
Before you go, what do you think about the Eagles Tampa this weekend?
Eagles. You know what's crazy? I just looked. They said They picked the Eagles to lose because the Eagles struggle against Tampa. Well, they didn't say the Eagles. They said Hurts because of the blitzing. But we now out 2 receivers.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So that is going to be a nail in the heel. Now we need the rookie to step up. What do you got? 3-4 catches so far this season. But we're going to give him a lot of Saquon.
Yep.
Best
Because
running back
that's
in the
what we
league right
got to
now.
do. Right, he is. And I'm surprised how good he's better than I thought he was. I realized New York didn't use his full potential at all. I didn't think he can catch everything. Like he does it all out there.
Yeah.
He know how to hit the hole. No diddy. He, you know what I'm saying? Like he know how to get to the end zone. He knows which way to go. Which to me, I always had a knock on Shady about that. It
That's
seemed like
true.
he didn't have field vision. The bull got field vision. Saquon got field vision. He's tough.
So
Yeah,
you
he
think we
knows how
got
to let
gonna
the
be all right.
blocks. You know how to let the blocks develop and then hit the hole with it. Shady was more like make his own.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yep. We got to watch how they play offense. We're gonna have to do a lot of tight end work.
I mean, I think the hurricane might help the Eagles this year. I mean, this game,
Oh
like
yeah.
that bad weather. Because if you got that big offensive line and you got Saquon,
What you
Yeah.
think about the defense?
Defense
I
look a
don't know.
lot better this week than they did the week
I,
before.
Yeah, they did.
bro,
They did.
the Saints center was out that game, and our defensive lineman on the inside,
They
our
took
tackle.
advantage of it.
So I still don't know where we at on the defensive side yet. Even though we don't give up a lot of touchdowns,
We don't.
I mean, the red zone
We
defense is
didn't.
tough.
Yeah. They've been balling. They've been keeping us
Yeah.
in the game because you look at the turnover ratio. We should have been getting blown out games, and we was always in all of them. Every
That's
last
true.
one of them.
Tim don't
Every
believe that
last
though.
one of them.
Brandon Graham still got some juice left in him, that's what I love about it. He still can
39
play.
right here. Yeah. No. But I think the Sixers, they gonna be all right. I think they always gonna be good if they got Embiid can stay healthy. They got one of the best big men in the league.
Yeah.
I wish they go back to old school ball playing down low. I don't like all that up top and shooting threes all the time. That to me, the game gets away from you when you play like that.
Well, as long as the big guys the one playing down low, I think they have a team built with
But
guys that can stand out. If you got,
he the one I be having a problem with shooting the rock all the time like that outside. Like I don't mind shooting
I
threes
mean his
sometimes.
I agree with you on the threes, but his mid range
Yeah.
is one of the best mid range jumpers in the league.
I don't mind that. You
Yeah.
got Patrick Ewing did it. You got Elijah Wan did it. I don't mind.
Yeah.
That's true.
But that's why they went and got these. But that's why they went and got these guys like Paul George is a standstill shooter. You got Caleb Martin who can spot up shoot. You got Oubre can shoot at times. You got Maxey.
Oubre.
If you let Maxey get
Maxey.
wide open shot, you got a whole team full of guys around that's supposed to be shooters. Whereas
Yeah.
though, I mean, you kick it in there to B. If they don't double team, B can cook. But if they double team, they can swing the
Right.
ball out and guys can shoot.
And B just
I
can't
think-
hold on that ball though. That's
Yeah.
I agree.
I think we still need. I think we one Caucasian away from dominating the playoffs.
And
Well, hopefully the half Caucasian, the young boy that wear the fingernail paint.
Somebody,
shoot.
I'm telling you, we need that.
Yeah. All right, Edie, we can talk to you.
Yes, sir.
You got the boy on the West Coast. You got relabeled, said he see you eating that Wawa. Got him jonesing for the East Coast grub.
Yeah.
Nah, but
Somebody said we are Sam Hauser away.
Who the boy that that the Celtics got? The little the ball head boy, like the boy that just coming to be shooting.
Ain't that Sam Hauser?
Is that how? No, don't his name begin with a P or something like that? Who is the I can't remember the name. Somebody out there help me. Who's the little dude that come off the bench? Was it Hauser? I don't think it was.
Yeah, I think it's Sam Hauser.
Hold up.
But yeah.
Yeah, Pritchard. That's what I'm talking. Pritchard coming off the bench and just be sparking balls up. Yeah, thanks, Chris. Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, wait. Well, we did want to talk about one other thing before because I see you looking at the clock. I know you're looking at the time. You know, Tim over there. What do y'all think, Philly fans, people that live in the city, and this ain't, counting on anybody else's opinion out, but what do y'all think about the stadium being downtown as opposed to on South Philly? Me personally, I think it's a brilliant idea for the team. I think that the team, first of all, is good for them. It's good for the city, for commerce. It's nice to I used to hate going to the game and then like if you want food, you got to get the food from the stadium. Like I don't always want that kind of food. Like I like the idea that you can hit a restaurant down in the city and then go to the game or go to the game and then hit a restaurant or hit one of the clubs. You know what I'm saying? If that's your thing, that's not really mine. But like you might want to hit a lounge or something to grab a drink or something like that. Hit a happy hour before you go to the game. I know people have a problem with the traffic, but in my opinion, I think that it opens it up more. Use public transportation. I like as of right now, yeah, you can't drive a dual, but this my thing is like, all right, like I'm in Delaware County now, right? My thing is I'll hop right on the R2 and it'll take me right down there to where the game is at. If that's what I'm gonna do, like I could park my whip right there at the station and be down there at the stadium in like 20 minutes or more, 20 minutes or less, and I ain't got to pay that big price for the parking down there.
That's
So
true.
I actually think that I like it. I think from all angles, public transportation can hit downtown city. You got the people come over from the Patco line over Jersey. It also opens up for the guys that's in the suburbs, like out there in Montgomery County and Bucks County. They could catch the regional rails and come right down in the center city to the games. So I think it actually makes sense. What you think, Tim?
I think it's a good idea. I'm thinking like even the folks from Jersey, they could still park in the stadium and catch the Broad Street line down in Center City and then come back out and still park in the parking lot and then go back home over the bridge. So it's going to be different.
But that Patco speed line comes right over into the Patco runs right down there too.
Yep, that's also they could do. It's a lot of options.
Chinatown need to be broke up anyway. There's too much going on down here. Like they can just slide them out and get them a little bit more space somewhere. Now, mind you, I'm saying that because I used to at a job I had. I used to go down in that garment district down there, and some of them little alleyways had to drive a truck and park and all that. Like it's a little too cluttered up in this joint.
And it's only what are these 41 games a year? Yeah, they'll be all right. They'll live.
I think it'll open up a lot more. I think it'll bring a lot more revenue to the city and to the team.
Exactly.
Instead of Comcast Spectacor getting all the money from everybody for the parking and all that other stuff. They down there racking up.
Yeah. That's why they want the Sixers to lead. They're like, we'll do this, we'll do that.
Yeah, because they renting the place. Like the Sixers want their own spot. Like, well, I want to keep renting.
Oh, yeah, I'm glad it's not going to Camden. That's for sure. I do not want to go. I'm not saying we're Philadelphia. The team belongs in Philadelphia.
But see, I do think that they improve stuff. I'm telling you this: if the city is getting the revenue, the city will get from it being down there because now you have it. And the other thing too is with it being down there, they can have other events there. Now they might have stuff whereas though you can have certain things and like people coming in and holding certain events there, concerts and everything else, and it's good bringing money to the city. Like all those restaurants, Philly got some of the best Come on, bro. Like, and it's not just me hyping Philly up. Philly got some of the best restaurants and atmosphere downtown and everything else that to be enjoyed down there. Yeah. So I think that opens up a lot of that. And I think if the city is getting commerce and getting money from all that, I think they do increase. I actually think it makes SEPTA better because now I think they're going to make sure that SEPTA is right down there so people ain't going down there getting jacked and shot and everything else. You're going to see a bigger security presence.
Yeah, I agree. So
it ain't gonna smell like the butt down there, like it smells like the whole. You know, when you used to go down the gallery and you get and the homeless boys be down there like that.
Yeah, they're gonna definitely clean it up. But
they definitely gonna clean it up.
A good thing.
Yep.
Yeah. All right, y'all. We appreciate the love. Thanks for the support. We just want to come on. You know, we'll be on after the game. Like we said, we've been trying to talk about the Sixers a little bit and give us our thoughts on the game. But usually after the game, all we want to talk about is what the Eagles did. Right. So we say we're gonna do some midwork.
What's the update on that? What's the update on that Cowboys game for week?
What they doing? Hopefully they still winning. What is this? 14. Oh, it's a tight game, 14-9.
Oh, all right.
Oh yeah.
So, I mean, we win either way.
Yeah, I know, right? It's a division opponents. All right, y'all. Like, comment, and subscribe. Hit that notification bell. We catch y'all on our next podcast, y'all.